What's up, family? It's Dr. Tart. I'm excited about today because we hear so much about relationships, so much about marriage. But as a man, how much do we really get when it comes to how to make marriage work, right? Like, marriage is something that most men eventually want. The majority of men, regardless of who you're around, the majority of men are going to get married, right? Especially the older they get. It's rare that you see someone who's 50 or 60 who's never been married as a man. So I want to give you the 12 things, 12 characteristics of a great husband. I wish I had been taught this when I started. I'm still working on these things. And I was compiling this list. I was looking at things I need to level up in and things that things that I've kind of learned along the way. So without further ado, why don't we dive in, fam? Let's dive in. Let's talk about the 12 qualities of a great husband. Again, this is Heart to Heart with Dr. Tart. I'm excited about just making a contribution to the space and being there with you all. Let me pray, Lord. Gotta ask and pray that you allow this list to be beneficial, that you allow men to be able to watch this, that you have wives send this to their husbands, moms send this to their sons, sisters send this to their brothers, just friends send this to one another. And for us as brothers, just to really reflect and figure out, man, how do we do this thing called marriage so that we could be successful? We don't like to lose in anything. And so we definitely don't want to lose at family, Lord, but we both know how difficult. You've helped me understand how difficult it is going through it, but also counseling countless couples, Lord. So we ask and pray that you have your way, speak through me, Lord. Humble me, but allow me to be able to step up and do the work that you've asked me to do. These things we ask in Jesus' name, amen. So let's dive in, family. 12 qualities of a great husband. Oh, by the way, that's my family, y'all. I love them dearly. That's my wife with Christian cooking in the stomach, cooking in the belly, in the womb any day now. Should announce his arrival. That's our oldest daughter, Raquel, youngest daughter, Trinity. That's me, blessed to be in the middle of it all. But I can tell y'all, let me just be honest with you right now. It is a difficult job. The degree of difficulty and being married with kids is extremely high. However, it is one of the most rewarding experiences in the world. Like, I would not consider myself fully living if I did not have this experience. But that is because a large part of my identity is as a family man. I'm not saying this is true of every man. Every man is not going to get married, and it doesn't mean that he's less of a man if he's not married. Paul wasn't married in the Bible, and he made a significant contribution. But when we start talking about marriage, I just want to give y'all this list, y'all. Can we dive in and be able to discuss this thing? I'm so excited about this. All right. So and make sure y'all subscribe and like this. If y'all like this content, subscribe and like so that YouTube can like it. If y'all want to get, just see what's going on, go over to my YouTube page, but let's dive in, y'all, without further ado. Number one, oh, he has to be godly. I know that's going to be controversial for those of you that are outside of the faith, and no disrespect to you because there's no need to disrespect. I just believe that, number one, he has to be able to submit to God's leadership. All right. So if you're going to submit to a man, if I'm submitted to Christ, you're really not submitted to me. You're submitted to the Christ in me. So what does that mean? Right. Because I want you to get this, whether you're a Christian or not, whatever your religion is, or maybe you're an atheist and you're watching this, you still want to be a dope husband. Right. This is not this does not exclude you. Right. So you have to know how to lead the family. You have to be able to guide them. You're responsible at the end of the day for your wife's well-being, your children's well-being. So you have to be able to get wise counsel, right? And then just to talk about submission is sub to the mission. A lot of people think submission like you're supposed to submit, like make your wife less than you. And that's not it, right? It's sub to the mission, meaning like, what's the mission here? What are we trying to do? And if I can be sub to the mission, right? And my wife can be sub to the mission, then we're submitted to the Christ in both of us, right? So it's really about, as a leader, you're supposed to lead your family. And so there are times in which I've had to say, hey, babe, I don't think this is a good move, but I prayed about it to make sure it wasn't a controlling spirit, or it wasn't pessimism, or it wasn't ego. This is something that God told me, and I need you to listen. And because she did, certain things didn't happen, right? And there are times in which God has told me the opposite: be quiet and follow your wife. I've given her the unique assignment. I've given her the mission. Be sub to that, right? For those of you who say that's not manhood, you don't know your Bible. It says submit to one another, not just woman to man, right? Submit to one another. It's not good for man to be alone, so I will create for him a what? Helpmate. Y'all got it, all right? And sometimes as a man, you have to act as your own counsel. right? So you have, but you also have to ask other strong men. It says plans fail for lack of counsel, but with many advisors, they succeed. You can look that up in the word, right? And so that means, as a husband, if you're trying to figure out financially, do you ask other people? Are you proud, or do you sit there and say, "Look, I need to know how to do this 529 for our kids, how to save for college. I need to know about these stocks. I need to know about crypto. I need to know how to deal with my wife when she is fired mad at me when I've made a mistake." Talk to me about balancing work and being a family man. Y'all get it? So being godly is number one. All right, number two, I will go a little bit faster. Secure. Oh, one of my favorites. And I don't elevate celebrities because they're just like everyone else. They can fall, and then if you elevate them, then they fall. It feels like no one can make it, especially in Black America, where we are just starving for role models when it comes to healthy married men, married to sisters. So I mean, let's just keep it real. You have to be personally secure before you can get married, man. A lot of men, I say, don't get married yet. I can tell you're not secure on who you are. You have a lot of flaws, right? And none of us are perfect. No one's perfect, all right? You're gonna have flaws as a married man, but you need to be secure enough to be able to not be so sensitive to what's going on with your wife and your family. You have to be emotionally secure as well. You have to be able to handle a wife's storm, without her rocking the boat. You have to be able to have like a whole container to be able to handle that. We'll talk about that a little bit later. You have to be financially secure, right? You have to be financially secure, family, right? So, and what's the last one? Um, Man, that's interesting. You know, I'm trying to figure out what the last one is, right? You have to be able to. It's gonna come to me. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. You have to be able to secure your wife and family. That's what it is. So secure your wife and family, because if you're the security, if you're the like, don't think like just a protector, but you're the secure boundary, right? You make it secure. You make it safe. If you're insecure, right, and she can't hug another man, or she can't go out to dinner with a business colleague. She can't hang out with her girlfriends, and your kids can't do this. Everything is offensive to you. Everything is disrespectful to you. You can't cage your family in. Let them be. So you have to be secure, family. All right, you know what I'm saying? Man, let's dive into this. All right, so that's number three. And one of the things that's number two. That's one of the things I like about Barack Obama. He's able to let Michelle, not let, but he allows. That's I know y'all don't like that either, but what I'm saying is that he has the capacity. There it is. Like, I'm not prone. I'm prone to correct myself. He has the capacity to be able to be commander in chief, when he was president, but also be able to fall back and say, baby, you're the best selling author. I'm going to stand back and be with the kids. I'm going to stand back and celebrate you. I'm going to stand beside you and take pictures next to you. I'm going to be your man while you're being a star, you being a subject matter expert. He's secure. That doesn't take anything away. He's saying, look, people love my wife. That's a lot of reason why I got elected. Like either they like one or both of us, or someone didn't like me, they love Michelle. You feel me? Man, this is beautiful. Man, I'm loving this series right here. I'm not gonna lie. Number three, let's go. Temperance. Whoo, this is something I have to work on, right? So you have to have the emotional agility, family, men, to be able to put on different. Think about a kung fu master, right? They're agile, and your style depends on who you're fighting. Same thing in a marriage and a family. You have to be able to be agile. There are times in which your daughter's going to cry, and they're not being disrespectful, they're just being emotional. So you have to kind of put on a caring jacket. All right. There'll be times in which your wife is emotional, and you have to just hear her out. There are gonna be times in which maybe she does need, you know, some advice, some wise counsel. And the times you're gonna have to just say straight up no, but you have to say it in a way that's loving and kind, and say, like, babe, I do not think it's a good idea to have a girlfriend's trip in the middle of COVID. I mean, I'm not gonna tell you you can't do it. I'm saying I just don't get it. Right. You need to be able to do that, stay calm. You have to stay composed, right? It's something nothing sexier than a man who's composed, right? I used to think it was about, man, you're not gonna talk over me. I used to have these diddyisms, these mantrums, but I was getting older, y'all. I've been composed under pressure, where I can sit here and say, all right, tell me how you feel. All right. Are you mad about that? All right. Why? And we can get into it. But because I'm composed, my calming nature calms her down, y'all. And that's not my natural disposition. I like to get it popping, y'all. I'm for real. I take something called Ashwagandha. Y'all look it up. Ashwagandha. I take it as a probiotic. It's made by Align. I take the probiotic with ashwagandha and take the ashwagandha tea, and it just relaxes me. Same thing with St. John's wort. I take that as well. Just relaxes me. And then as men, we have to have the ability to apologize quickly. A lot of times we talk about leadership, right? Like, follow me, fam. I'm gonna be the leader. But how many times can you lead your family, lead your wife, and apologize first? You say, last night I was out of pocket. You were telling me the right thing to do when it comes to my diet. And I snapped on you. You said, I'm a man. Let me eat the big piece of chicken if I want to. But when I realize it, high blood pressure runs in my family. Cholesterol is not good for us. We have to outlive, especially, y'all know us, we got young children, right? And one still on the way, right? I have to be around for a long time. So if sister girl wants to cook some vegan chicken, I'm gonna eat the vegan chicken, right? I still may have a cheat day every now and then. But for by and large, if she wants to keep me healthy, why would I snap on her? Right? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Some of your wives are telling you right now, feel this in the spirit, go for that job. Right? Go for that job. And you in your comfort zone. I don't know why this font did this, but influenceable. It did this because obviously I did that. All right. So influenceable. This is the biggest one, y'all. This is the number one trait of married men according to the research. How influenceable is he? Because I know there are single women watching this. All right, if you're looking for all these qualities, right? Number one is influenceable. Is he influenceable? Is he open to his wife's input? He who findeth a wife findeth a good thing, a good thing. That means good for you, right? As a man, he who findeth a wife finds a good thing for you, and she is good. She is good, and she is good for you. Finds a good thing and gains favor in the Lord. That means the Lord looks highly upon you, all right, because you're listening to your wife, right? So how can your proverbial rib, tell you something that you don't need to hear? Right now, I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but I'm just simply saying I just want you to listen to it, right? Now listen to the wise advice, listen to the wise counsel. And so you have to be willing to change as a man. Oh my gosh, as husbands, I can't tell you how many times my wife has said, go, let's take Christmas pictures. Babe, you know what? I need you to start working out. I need you to be at your ideal weight. Or babe, I think you're working too hard. Or babe, I think you need to spend more time with oldest daughter, youngest daughter, son, whatever the case may be. And I have to be influenceable because these are things that my partner, my soulmate can see. My wife might like we're the head, but the wife oftentimes is the neck. She's controlling us, right? In a good way. And so she's allowing us to be able to pivot and look around and see things we couldn't see. And if you're influenceable and your wife is telling you good things, that's how you get couples goals. You know what I'm saying? That's how you become a king. You think Barack Obama wasn't listening to Michelle Obama when she was saying, babe, I think we should go another way? And then you have to be able to subdue our pride. You can lead. You can be so hungry to lead your marriage, you can be the least equipped to do it. Right? My wife understands real estate. Her mom is a real estate agent. I don't run the real estate deals for our family. That's out of my expertise compared to the two of them, right? So I focus on other investments, right? My wife is not getting away when it comes to discipline. As a child psychologist, I understand these things, right? And so she defers to me. I do not get in the way, my wife when it comes to health and wellness. Those are things that she studied and that she lives and so we play off each other. So I can't always try to lead if I'm not the most talented person. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes it's going to be a whole other person outside of the two of you. You can't let pride get in the way. All right. Number 5, you have to be self-disciplined. Oh, I love Jason Wilson, man. You know what? If y'all haven't read his book, check him out. Jason Wilson, acclaimed martial artist, acclaimed husband and father, and best-selling author. Amazing brother, right? And so basically, you have to be self-disciplined, right? You have to have marital fidelity and be faithful, which is not easy, right? It is very, very easy, especially the more accomplished you are as a man, the more visible you are a man, the more you travel, the more temptation that comes your way. Like if I am an NBA athlete, if I am a household name, is my level of self-discipline is going to have to increase to be able to handle the temptation, but that you also can carry yourself in a way where people don't even test you. All right. Or less people test you because the way you carry yourself, it's like he's not interested. Right. And you have to have good habits. Right. So, like, men, listen to this. Right. You have to have good habits. Like, how good are your habits, fam? Let me just talk to you for a second. Like, I do cardio. I do weightlifting. I pray. I read the Bible. I fast. Even I need to do a better job of fasting. I need to do a better job praying as well. Right. I need to really get back and lock that in into a strong routine in addition to the exercise. Right. I need to get back on my weightlifting. The cardio is on point. Reading the Bible is on point. Right. Listening to the sermons and preparing and thinking about them. That's on point. But I have to have my habits, all right, because my habits build up my stamina and my discipline. When I'm lifting weights, I'm not necessarily trying to be the biggest dude in the world, right? Obviously, all right. But what I am trying to do is get the right form. I'm trying to do it the right way, even under pressure. And do you see how that can translate to self discipline out in these streets? All right, let me focus. I'm weak. I'm not at my best, but can I still have the same form? Can I maintain self discipline in my life? Can I fast, family? Can I fast and say no to myself? So when it's time for me to, I see something I like. Hello, Riri. Hey, Rihanna. When I see Riri, I can say, girl, you're fine. You have that bad girl Riri in you, but I can't do that. I ain't gonna be able to do it. All right. You have to have that discipline and you have to be consistent. When you find a man with consistent habits, you're gonna find a dope husband. You're going to find an amazing father who's consistent with his habits. To this day, I cannot recall a time when my father has been late. You can set a watch to my dad. He's going to be 10 to 15 minutes early every time, no matter what it is. And I admire that about my dad. It's be self-discipline. So men, work on your self-discipline. You don't have to just say this is what it is. No, you can definitely be better. All right. You have to be ambitious and growth oriented. All right. So a husband's or wife's desire, like what do you desire to be, right? I want to match that. I want to do that, right? We have to be equally yoked, have the same mindset, and we have to be matching in mindset and energy. Listen, y'all, it's nothing better than having someone that's pushing you in a relationship, right? All right, like, okay, you did that. All right, you doing a YouTube thing. All right, let's do your own show. All right, babe, I was doing a show. I was thinking about, you should do your own show, right? Or hey, you're doing a prayer challenge. This is what I think you should sell merch, in addition to that, right? Sometimes you're just pushing your wife or your husband to be better than what they are. Sometimes you're doing it together, sometimes it's separate, sometimes you the star, sometimes you the co-star, sometimes you just security, sometimes you just a ticket cutter, right? You just taking the tickets like in the movies, going in to see my wife's movie, going in to see my husband's movie. You have to be able to adapt. And when you have life goals like that, that's what I'm talking. Ooh, y'all can tell I love this subject, right? But if you're not equally yoked and there's one person that's going out there and getting it and the other person is staying stagnant, that is not a match. That is not attractive because you are only as good as the energy in the room. When I go to the gym and the energy is dead, that's a dead gym. I need to get into another gym like a Orange Theory or something that gets it popping. You know what I'm saying? Where CrossFit, where you getting ready to go hard, right? Get on that Peloton. My favorite Peloton trainer is Tunde. Shout out to you, Tunde. She goes hard. Her energy is always high. So when I'm pedaling, I'm tired. I match her energy. You need that in your relationship if you want it to be amazing, family. Are y'all enjoying this? If y'all are, make sure y'all hitting that like button, that subscribe button. Please, please, please. All right. All right. Number 7, giving your wife grace, right? Give your wife grace, y'all. You need to be patient. There are times in which you're gonna just have to just give grace, right? There's been times in which, Mecca's done things. I was just like, what are you thinking? And I've done things. She's like looking at me like, why would you do that? That is dumb. Right. And there are times in which in marriage, you just have to be patient and let people go through a season. Now, I don't mean like a character flaw, it stays permanent, they don't work on, but sometimes in marriage, you have to be just patient to let people find their way. And you're going to need the same patience. And so as a man, you can't just fly off the handle. Sometimes it's just like, look, I don't know what she talking about. I'm just going to wait it out. Right. And then, because they have wisdom, in season, which I see a little bit, wisdom to allow seasons to play out without panicking. And then Lord knows if you're raising children, my gosh, you have to be patient. Right. I mean, how many times do you have to teach them the same word before they get it, right? You have to be patient when you're teaching them because they may not get it the first time. You yelling and screaming to make them do push-ups. Silly stuff we do as parents are saying, you can't read that. The word is and. How you don't know and? right? And if we talk to our kids like that, we basically saying you stupid, right? So you have to be patient and say, all right, and let's write this down. All right, let's write in shaving cream. All right, let's get that kinetic hangs. Every memory tool known to mankind, womankind. You have to be patient, fam, and that patience is going to play. It's going to pay off, and I think that's a virtue of a very mature man, right? You can have maturity at a young age, but you have to be patient, not only with yourself but also with your spouse. All right. Number 8. Ooh, this is a big one. You have to be kind and affectionate. Man, this is the one I was telling Meg. I was like, this is the one I have to focus on. The kindness, she says that, she would like for me to verbalize the things that I think a lot of times, right? So when I'm speaking about her, she hears these things secondhand. And she's already told me she wants me to tell her these things. And I'm not afraid to say it. She said, like Duvall, right? With Kadeem and Duvall. Like, he tells her, I see you. Show me the video. And I'm not like subdue that pride. I'm like, look, if this brother's doing something that can be beneficial in my marriage, I said, so I let her know all week, girl, I see you. I tell her what I see so I can be kind and affectionate. But she said, you know what? More than the words, I really need affection. I do a great job with our daughters and being affectionate. I think because they're younger and smaller, they pull from it. And because my wife is so strong, and independent, there are times I forget she's still my baby. She's still her daddy's daughter. She's still someone's daughter. She's still kind and loving. And I have to make sure I'm affectionate, you know, outside of just wanting to get things cracking. You know what I'm saying? So I have to touch to affirm. Did y'all know that there was a study done and showed that when women walk alone in a dark, so say a basement, all right, their stress levels go up. But that same woman holding the hand of her husband or her man or brother, whatnot, that same stress hormone goes down. It showed the same effect in rats when they're licked by their mother. All right, their stress goes down. So that affection in men, we're able to actually calm our wives down, right? By just simply touching her. Let her know that you see her. And it's not just because you want to start intimacy, but just letting you know I'm connecting with you. You can just de-stress her. You can let her know that ladies, am I right? More than we think it's about $1 million and retiring them from work, and then they're going shopping sprees and all this stuff you see on TV. And those things are nice. But at the end of the day, the average woman wants to be held. She wants to be felt. All right. So I see you, Duvall, saying I see you. So I'm gonna one up you. I'm gonna say I see you, and I'm gonna hug my wife. Right, right. Anyway, Duvall's good people. All right. So y'all get it. So number 9, y'all. All right, we almost through. Communicate. All right, listen first and speak second. Oh, this is so tough for me. But you're gonna find that this is really a G move, right? This is a G move because this is how you can run it as a husband. Like, you sit there and you listen, you get it, right? You're not loading up to debate, you're loading up to understand. So let me get this right. You're upset with me because I didn't speak to you when I came in the house. I went straight upstairs and started watching the University of Michigan football game, and you find that totally, totally disrespectful. Was that right? Right. When I get that, all right, I'm saying, all right, now I'm able to kind of look back at it and see, is that right, and see how she feels. All right. And if I'm secure, I'm able to say, you're right, babe. I should at least kissed you and said, babe, I'm trying to watch this game. And I know everything would have been cool. Right. But when you listen first and speak second, here's the power play. When your wife tries to interrupt you, when you're speaking, but hey, baby, hold on, hold on. Didn't I hear you out? You talk for 14 minutes. I didn't say a word. I wanted to. I was clawing my thigh with my fingernails, not to say anything. So I need you to afford me the same effort, same patience that I gave you. That's leadership, man. That's a G move right there. Because you're doing it first. She's like, I'm gonna listen. I hope she interrupts so I can say, let me get my time in. Right. And then, man, we have to verbally appreciate our wife. We're letting her, girl, you still look good. You still fine. You still get it done. Appreciate everything that you're doing. You hold this house together. Don't think it, just say it. I make an alarm in my phone, y'all. I do, because I will forget, right? Because I love my wife, but I'll forget to appreciate her. I'm just gonna be honest. And I just have alarm go off in my phone, that's already preset. Appreciate your wife. And she's like, oh, you're so sweet. She don't know it's an alarm in there. And who cares, right? And then as men, we have to expand our emotional vocabulary. Everything can't be I'm mad. We could be frustrated. We could feel emasculated. We could feel unseen. We can feel disregarded. We could feel embarrassed. We can feel self-conscious. We can feel happy. When you're communicating with your wife, let her know how you feel. You know what I'm saying? I'm feeling, uh, you know, Like I'm not getting, I'm gonna pick a big one, the respect that I deserve as a husband. I'm not getting the appreciation. I do these things and, saying anything about it when it's good, but when things are bad, we have a 2 hour conversation. I need to be balanced, communicate, all right, and share your inner world, right? Let your wife know what's going on in your world. You'd be surprised how many couples sit down, they ain't even talk. Say, I couldn't tell you what's going on in this brother's mind. Don't let that be you. Let her know, like, I'm thinking about as I get older, I can't work like this anymore. I need to work smarter. So I'm gonna look into this crypto, or I'm gonna invest in myself. These are some things that I want to do. Everyone talks about Elon Musk and talks about Diddy, and everyone talks about Obama, and everyone talks about Bill Gates, and these other Mark Cuban, right? Rodney Sampson, Paul Judge. These are people that people look up to, and they're like, they invested in themselves, right? I think I want to go for mine, right? And let them know what that is, and you'd be surprised how many amazing wives are down to support you, long as you know what you're doing, right? And then open up and be honest. I know y'all like, man, why would you pick Jay-Z? I'm picking Jay-Z on this one, right? Not to put out a celebrity couple, but I want to get this brother accolades. I mean, he was open and honest about stepping out. Now, granted, she had to put out a whole album, all right, Lemonade, right? And put him out there like that. But he opened up and said, let me go to therapy and get myself together so I don't recreate that same father that abandoned me, right, as a child. This is Jay-Z talking, right? So the fact that he was open and honest and say, look, this is what it is. And if you heard him open up, he's done a number of videos talking about going to therapy and getting himself right so that he could be the man that he wants to be for Beyonce, right? And y'all like, how could you step out on Beyonce? Any married man knows, all right, that eventually, there are times in marriage where your husband and your wife just looks like a great couch, right? You see it every day. It's a great couch. There's nothing new about it, right? It's there. It's just part of marriage. That's why you have to do things to constantly spice it up, change what you're doing. And so, he's open and honest and saying, hey, these are the things. Let me be real with you. These are some vices I have. These are some things that I've been doing. I grew up in the industry, and this is hard for me to let go of, right? So I need to move a different way. Let me go work on some of the ways I'm validated as a man. Because if we take away physical intimacy when we get into an argument, I'm ill-equipped, right? Let me go get some other tools. Let me go figure out how other men are doing this versus copping out and saying that all men ruin their families and cause strife and the wife to be depressed. And nah, all men don't do that. Most men don't do that. You can look it up in the research, right? Nah, and definitely men don't do it over and over again. There's a small percentage who do, right? But most men don't want to go through that pain again, right? Because how are we going to protect our wives if we're the ones hurting them? I'm not saying it's done intentionally, but at the end of the day, most men don't want to hurt their wives. All right, let's keep this going. Trying to keep this under 30 minutes. Invest in family. All right, one of the top 5 needs of wives, family, is being a family man. They want someone who's successful, who gives them the option to work. That's real. Most women want the option to work. But really what they want is they want a man who's able to do family and a man who's able to do his job, right? So, actively invest in the family, invest in growth, maintenance, and repair, right? Make investments. Don't let it be the wife doing all the work. Be able to say, there's some things that we need to do. Since having kids, we haven't dated. We haven't had a lot of quality time. And I'm finding myself, yearning that, be open and honest about it. But you want to be able to sit down and talk about having a real conversation, right? If you're the only one working, you're like, babe, you might want to go back to work. You asked me to be a family man, but then we have all this stuff. Those two don't go together. All right. I need some help, support with that, support the business, whatever it is. Right. So have that real conversation so that you can be a rock star family man. So it's not just bringing home the proverbial bacon. It's about time. Love is spelled Time. Can't buy your family, fam. You're going to have to be there for them. And then last, optimists are just better. They're just better at everything. They're just better. I mean, you want to be gritty and supportive husbands. Like, you want to stay in there. You don't want to quit when it gets tough. You want to say, we're going to make this work. I don't know how, right? When it comes to, relationships, you know, at the end of the day, you want to be an asset, family. So you want to be her peace. You want to be her peace, family. You want to be her peace. You don't want to always bring up stuff. You don't want to be the negative, nagging, irritable. Go get counseling if you're not in a good space, right? Things are not going well. Go get support of other brothers. Everyone's been there, right? Be her peace. Be her light. Be her encourager. Like when you come in and say, baby, you can do this. Make life easier. Make it be so that when she's with you, she feels like, man, life is so much better because I'm around my husband's optimistic, positive energy. That is everything. Y'all love this. Make sure you hit that like button. And if you want to be part of, Better Husband, Better Wife, .com, we have monthly marital coaching classes, which are amazing. Just an online community of married couples that are just doing the work to be great, right? We're not really dealing with heavy duty issues in front of one another, but we're talking about how to communicate better, how to be better at all 12 of these, and the things that wives need to do to support. And it's just a dope community to be a part of, y'all. So I hope that this is beneficial. Share this. What did I miss? What did I miss, man? You want me to interview you to talk about these things, how you implement these things in your marriage? I'm all for celebrating the community. I want to bring great men to the space and be able to talk about these things. So I love y'all. I hope y'all enjoy the 12 qualities of a great husband. Lord God, we ask and pray that you allow these things to be impactful, that you allow husbands to be able to look at this list and be able to figure out what they do well and things they can improve on, Lord. And you allow me to be able to teach this and live this and just be awesome myself, Lord. Not to get focused on being perfect, but to make perfect adjustments for my family, Lord. We just ask and pray for every brother watching this, every sister watching this, that you'd have your way in benefiting their present and their future relationships. These things we ask in Jesus' name. Amen. God bless.